information to try to take personal details like your social security number. According to federal authorities, several email websites, including Outlook and Gmail, can be hacked. President Donald Trump signed an executive order Thursday calling for a plan to shut down the Education Department, an agency Republicans have talked about closing for decades. The White House says Education Secretary Linda McMahon will be directed to facilitate the department's closure while continuing to ensure the effective and uninterrupted delivery of services, programs, and benefits on which Americans rely. Eliminating the department altogether would be a cumbersome task, which likely would require an act of Congress.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Sunny and mild today. We'll see a high near 51. Mostly cloudy tonight. We'll drop down to a low around 41. Cloudy and breezy tomorrow with a chance of showers through mid-afternoon. We'll reach a high near 48 and a low around 24. And partly sunny on Sunday with a possibility of some rain in the afternoon and again in the evening. Expect to see highs near 50 and lows around 42. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
On this Friday, March 21st of 2025 at 10 minutes after 9, we've got a temperature of 35 degrees currently in Beaver County. That's a look at the news for now. I'm Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Are you ready? It's time to find out what is on the mind of Eddie Crow. It's something to crow about on Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM and 1230 WBVP. Now, here's the host of the show, Eddie Crow.
I am trying to think of a better way to deal with the Friday, and at this exact moment, nothing comes to mind. Here's the plan. Oh, hi, welcome. It's Friday. It's 10 minutes after 9. The show is something to crow about. I'm Eddie Crow. Here's the plan, and here's why I can't come up with anything that preemptively pleases me more. The first hour, I get to talk about animals. I get to talk about cats and puppies, and Debbie Klesser is here, and Helen Sission is here, board president and fundraising chair of the Beaver County Humane Society, who I love. Helen is a volunteer. T for Tails. We're going to talk about that. Do you have any idea how much more of a smile I had driving in this morning, knowing that I get to talk to you about animals?
I'm glad.
Yeah?
That made your day, huh?
Well, it's perfect bookends. I get to talk with Beaver County Humane Society. And then the last hour, DJ Fry comes in and does his own little 1 hour show, and I sit here and drink coffee. Perfect slide into the weekend. First thing I want to ask, are you full up with dogs? Did I see something about if you're looking to adopt a dog? We're going to get to all the events.
Yes.
But right now, if you're looking, that's it?
Right. There is a lot of dogs right now, and they're looking for fosters.
Okay.
People to, take them in for a little bit while they adopt the ones that they have out.
And these are volunteers?
Yes.
Okay.
And you have to, take an orientation to become a foster person. And a lot of times they become a foster failure because they end up keeping their dogs.
Oh, that's a brutal title to have on a file.
But it's great because a lot of people will just keep them. As they foster them, they get attached. So this way,
so a foster failure is good sometimes?
A good thing.
Because
yes, because that means you're keeping the animal that you're fostering. So that's great.
Okay.
And then pretty soon it'll be kitten season, so then they'll be looking for people to take kittens because we do fill up fast.
Yeah.
With kittens.
Kitten season is its own thing.
It is.
You're talking about volunteer work. Helen, why do you volunteer at the Humane Society?
Well, Debbie got me into it.
Okay.
I always had animals growing up, but it was a time whenever your dogs were outside. Mm-hmm. Now they're inside, and it's a whole different dynamic. It's more of a part of the family now. So, you can see a difference in a person when they have a pet. They're just, I don't know, they're happier.
Did you know that before you were volunteering? Because there have been studies done. Happier, calmer, better heart rate, everything. Did you know any of that?
I think I knew that.
Growing up with
whenever
them?
you see that, in other people, like older people, you see a difference in them when they're around animals. When my mother was in assisted living, people would come in with dogs. And you could just see the difference.
Did she look forward when Dog Day was happening?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they all did.
Does the Humane Society have any programs like that? Anything consistent?
You know what? I'm not sure. I think a long time ago we did, and it was the people that worked there would take their own dogs.
Take the dogs on the bus to visit.
And right now, I'm not sure if they do, because we're in transition of hiring different people and putting them in different positions. So sometimes it just, you have to have a certain type of dog that's going to be trained to behave around older people and things. But, it's something that if we're not doing it immediately, we probably will. It's just that, there's different times where other important things arise, so the employees have to jump and do something else, and sometimes it gets them on the wayside, because they're always busy up there.
How hamstrung is the Humane Society financially from quarter to quarter? How dependent are you on people to volunteer their time?
Well, volunteer and also donate. We do not get any funding from, other than you and I and other people and our sponsors and, corporations, or if somebody unfortunately passes away, they donate. So we always tell people we have to raise it ourselves. And, we do get some money from the commissioners, which is great, but it's mainly every one-on-one sending in to help support the Humane Society and our events, whatever we can do.
Well, I was going to say, and you do that through events, and I want to ask Helen, what is Tea for Tails? Because a lot of animals around hot tea sounds like problematic. Walk me through what it is.
The other years we would have at a fire hall, and we did all the work, and we would bring in the animals outside mainly. You could visit the animals. Now we have it at the Fez. And I don't know, did we have animals last year?
Yeah, they were like outside greeters.
Yeah, outside kind of greeting.
Okay.
But they're not inside, so.
Well, what is the actual event? Once I say hi, what am I going to?
Well, you're going to see a lot of fun things. We have raffle baskets, a buffet luncheon, 50-50 raffle, a purse bingo. Or not purse bingo,
purse auction.
Like an auction.
And our blings.
In the blings.
Okay.
I have a table with like bags with jewelry, mostly jewelry, for $20, and they're generally valued at more than $30 what's in there. So you just pick a number and get a bag, and you get a surprise.
So you're coming out ahead and you're helping.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did great last year.
Yeah, we did.
We actually made 7,000.
Oh,
which
great.
was wonderful.
Well,
and
now let me translate that into bags of dog food. I don't know what
lot.
That's a good thing.
But not even dog food. They could buy, for kittens, for bunnies, or hamsters, whatever they got. Right.
All right, be honest. How many people donated for hamsters?
Oh, well, they do, because they need bedding, they need food. So, and if you're a hamster owner, of course you're going to donate to a hamster that's there. Now, they don't get a lot of bunnies and hamsters, but every once in a while, I think actually since we've been in the shelter, it's been 10 years now in the new shelter, we've had snakes, iguanas, some type of like dragon lizard, something like a Komodo dragon, it looked like.
Okay.
Birds.
Were those donated, or did they eat their owner and get busted?
Well, some were confiscated because of bad situation.
No one wants an iguana.
Yeah, and a lot of times people move and they can't take an iguana to their new place. So, or the same thing with dogs. A lot of times people have to move and their landlords don't want them to have them. So it's kind of sad because you really don't want to give up your animal.
That's how I got my 2 cats. My daughter couldn't take them.
Yeah.
So totally understand. What day is the event at the Fez?
April 6th.
April 6th.
From 11:30 to 4.
Okay.
You can get tickets online. Go online to the website and you can, purchase tickets.
BCHS.
Beaver County Humane Society.org.
.org.
Yeah.
I knew there was something. Okay.
Yeah.
You a dog person or a cat person? Helen, I'm going to start with you. You said you had animals growing up.
Yeah,
I'm
we always
assuming
had
dogs. All right.
Yeah, we always had dogs. Yeah, I'm more of a dog person.
All
But,
right.
I like them all.
Is that how often do you get asked that question when people know that you do work at the
All the
Humane
time.
Society?
Well,
do you?
once I got married, I haven't had a pet for a long time.
Well,
with
yeah,
my
you
kid-
did. You had your husband.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I still have him. I don't think I'll get rid of him. Both my kids had bad allergies.
Oh,
So it was
okay.
like, well, that's not in
Right.
the cards, But, when I go to my sisters and my brothers, and one has cats, one has dogs, it's fun. And then I go home.
It's like nieces and nephews. They're
Yeah.
both
It is.
visiting and split.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Debbie, a dog person or cat person?
Oh, I'm a bunny person,
I'm sorry?
a rabbit person.
How heart-wrenching is Easter for you?
Oh, it's terrible because it used to be when we had the old shelter, I was just new on the board, and people would come in to get the bunnies, and then after Easter, like a couple months, they'd bring it back
What
and
do you
say,
do with the bunny? Think.
or they'd let it go,
Yeah.
and then somebody would find it and bring it in. And a few times we've had people come in to adopt a bunny that we're going to eat them. And
Wait,
so,
what?
Yeah, they.
So they came into the Humane Society and said, I'd
Not
like
this Humane Society, but our original one, and they would.
They told the people?
Well, it was sort of like you pick up the vibe, and they would be discussing it while you're.
Oh, my God.
And so, now, but right now, what's great is when you come in to adopt, they
Yeah.
put everything in the computers.
Good.
And if something came up, but rabbits are tough because if you're not paying attention, you get a girl boy bunny, what happens there. So then you
More
have a lot
bunnies.
of bunnies, and then sometimes people don't want to take care of more than one or whatever, and then we end up getting them. I've fostered rabbits that have come to the shelter. One in particular had a baby as it was coming into the shelter.
Oh.
And so I had to foster the mom and like 4 babies. So,
Okay.
then you keep them long enough that they can then be adopted.
How would you get people clued in to adopt? Somebody wants to adopt a bunny as a pet.
Well, back in the days, I did have a connection of people that owned rabbits, so I would just, go with them and say, "Do you know anybody else?" Now, I think because all of the animals go up on the website to be adopted,
True.
I think that way, if someone's interested, they'd see the rabbit, and you could go to the shelter, but they prefer that you go online instead of like coming in and walking around because we don't want to spread disease to any of the animals. But when you come in the lobby, there's usually cats playing in a room and then some bunnies in cages, if there are any.
So window shop first and then
Yeah.
narrow it down. Okay.
Right.
Debbie Klesser is with me and Helen Sission is with me, and it's the Beaver County Humane Society, and I love the stuff that you guys do. Did the dude show up? I'm sorry. Did the dude that wanted to eat the bunny show up with like a roll of cutlery or something?
No, it was just the conversation, and I just picked the vibe up and went to the executive director back then and said, I don't think we should adopt this person.
Don't give this guy a bunny.
Yeah, and, and she said, okay, but it was, that didn't happen a lot. It was just, and it was shocking because it was when I was new,
Right.
volunteering, and I'm like, what? Who does that? But people do, farmers raise them to eat. But I just didn't want it happening through the Humane Society.
How do people get in touch with the Humane Society? The website is beavercountyhumanesociety.org. And you have our website's connected to it. I did want to ask you, I love the thrift store in Beaver Falls. Did you guys just get a building like across the street or something?
Well, the shelter up
Okay.
in Broadhead Road, we bought the building across the street for the shelter. It was called the Annex.
Okay.
and it's where they have different programs like dog training. They're going to be doing puppy yoga. They're going to do a few events there, and then we have 3 apartments upstairs. If anybody's interested, we're renting them.
Really?
Yes. They're,
and that money's going to go to the Humane Society. Oh,
and they're
right
really
on.
nice. And then we had to expand, and we really couldn't afford to build onto our building. It was actually popped up that this building came for sale, and it's across the street. So we decided that would be a better fit. And it was great because now people could, instead of having 4 to an office, we could spread it out, and there's some offices. So it worked out very nicely. But the thrift store in Beaver Falls is amazing if you have not been there. It's wonderful. It's very clean. The manager gets...
It doesn't have that freaky, odd thrift store smell
it
that a
does
lot
not.
of them do.
No, you're
Yeah.
right. And it's like he sells furniture, and he now picks up furniture. If you call and send him pictures so we could see if we could resell, it's just amazing. And both places are community driven. Like, we're hoping to get the word out for the Humane Society about, the care of animals, spade and neutering, anything you need. And then the thrift store is helping because there is a need for people that can't afford to go elsewhere.
Right.
We definitely are helping the community there.
You help on both ends by helping animals.
Yeah.
Right. And all proceeds of the thrift store will go to the shelter, so.
Debbie Klesser and Helen Sission, my guest here. Is there anything I should have asked you that I didn't? Because I'll sit here and talk about dogs and cats all day.
Well, we have a couple events coming up. We have a pet walk at Brady's Run in September.
I know that one.
Yes, and you did great. And then we have
You know what I remember from that?
What?
Somebody had a Malamute that just was my best buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of neat because you see all kinds of dogs,
Yeah.
and they all get along.
Isn't that the weirdest thing?
Yeah.
You look and go, oh, if that one doesn't like that one, this is going to be bad.
It's gonna go bad, right.
Later on, the little one's riding on the big one's back for the parade.
I know. It's a nice event. We brought it back after so many years. And then we have our haunted trail that's up at the shelter in the woods. And that's going on 10 years, and that's amazing. So everybody, I think we won Best of Beaver County, if I'm not mistaken. Like, when you go online, you can vote.
I think I saw it on your Facebook page.
Yeah, so it was pretty neat. So those events, and then other people do events like third-party events on their own. So
Follow them on Facebook. Helen, thank you for what you do.
My pleasure.
And
it's fun.
I'm glad that worked out with the adopting of the husband.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Well, I think he adopted me more than I adopted him.
But see, that's how it works with pets.
that's
Exactly.
true.
Who runs your house more than your pets?
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, I love what you guys do.
Well, thank
Anything
you.
we can do, yell.
All righty.
All right?
Thank you.
Kitten season. You should have kitten yoga
There you go.
for people that don't want to do yoga, and they just lay on mats and let the kittens bounce on them.
Hey, I'll put that out there. I'll give them the suggestion.
All right, run that up the flag.
I will.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Your home for everything in Beaver County. 99.3 FM and 1230 WBVP, coming to you live from the all-new Frag Transportation Studios.
If you own a company or a small business, you might have considered advertising on radio. It's smart because radio is still the most far-reaching media outlet today. WBVP and WMBA can get you results. Get more information at beavercountyradio.com.
The worst thing that a person can do for their family is die without a will. Please take the time to consult attorney Michael W. Nally of Nally, Elias & Associates for legal counsel and draft a last will and testament. Also, take the time to meet with your financial advisor and insurance agent to make certain you have